Shalawam. Shalom, shalom.
Shalawam.
Um, First and foremost, we want to start off by giving all honor, glory, praises to the Most High. How about Shemar Shai? All praise to the Most High for allowing us to see yet another beautiful Sabbath. And I know it's been a minute since I think the last live me and the sister did was the Righteous Wife Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's been a fat minute. That was I don't even know how long ago that was.
Too
September.
long. Too
Yeah.
long.
But all praise the Most High. We back and we better. But I'm gonna let the sister y'all now take the floor.
And all praise the Most High. The Lord put it on my spirit to go into long distance relationships. And it's true. We got courtships in Israel. We got marriages in Israel. And a lot of times, it's we're a small community. Obviously it's Israel itself as a nation is innumerable, but those that are in this truth, striving for perfection, trying to do right by Yahweh Shemir Shai, it's scarce. So of course we're scattered abroad, we're scattered abroad. So a lot of the times there will be long distance courtships, there will be long distance marriages, and it is what it is. So today, Lord willing, we're gonna get into any questions y'all have, and then some topics that me and the sister come up with. It's gonna be real chill, real relaxed. It's the Sabbath, Shabbat Shalawam to the 12. And the beautiful thing about this live is that me and the mighty sister Abiria, she as well as I have been in long distance courtships and marriages. So, Lord willing, through the power of spirit, how about Shemai Shai will be able to answer these questions to the best of our abilities, offer advice, tips, the whole nine. And if any precepts come out, we're gonna bring them out through the spirit.
Khan. So like y'all had to Khan, all praise to the Most High. Yeah, it's all praise to the Most High. Me and the sister, we both were courting our husbands long distance, and then we were married long distance. So
Mm-hmm.
not only are we coming on here to edify, but we have personal experience, personal testimonies that we can talk about that the Most High brought us through. So it's our personal Most High that we were able to experience it, and now we can help other sisters in the area because it's not easy at all, not a slight bit of easy. And then when you get together, it ain't easier. So, but we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. Is it worth it? Red flags, how to
Mm-hmm.
operate, how to move as a woman being long distance because just because your man ain't with you, that don't mean you get to flirt with Jake at Taco Bell. So I'm just throwing stuff out, but
Fine. That's a fact. And even being long distance, you gotta be submissive too. You just because the man not right there in front of you, don't mean that I don't have to be submissive. I don't have to, do my duties as a wife. Like, no, we still gotta do what you gotta do. You're courting, you still gotta be shamefaced. Not gonna sit. I mean, Israel. In Israel, you just hear stuff, man. You hear stuff, and it be madness. You got sisters, they courting somebody, but they talking to this brother on the side, and it's real messy. Real messy. It's not shamefaced. If you're courting somebody, you need to be courting that person. Because courting obviously is that proving period, that proving stage where you're getting to know each other. Courting meaning like we're working towards marriage and so on and so forth. But like Sister said, we're gonna get in the nitty gritty of long distance courtships and marriages. And you just gotta endure in this thing, man. You gotta really endure because it's gonna be hard. And it's like, how do you prove somebody and they 5 states away and they across the country and wherever they at? Hey, you gotta study to show thyself approved. You gotta study to show thyself approved, because if you're not well versed in at least the law, the milk, you know, certain things, the basic, the bare minimum, you gotta know no prophecies or nothing like that. But you know, hey, I gotta keep the dietary law, I gotta keep the Sabbath day holy, I gotta, you know, so on and so forth. Then hey, that's your foundation. That's your foundation right there. This brother talking about some, oh, we don't really got to keep the Sabbath day holy. You know, we can cook and, you know, do whatever. Red flag. Red flag. Run away as quick as possible. You know, sisters should be striving to be with a man who shows that he's serious about serving the Most High, serving the Habashim Shai. I tell sisters, you know, see like how he does, like when it comes to providing and protecting. I'm huge on providing and protecting. If you're not providing and protecting, what are we talking about? We ain't got nothing to talk about because, you know, and of course everybody's situation is different, you know, us being women, Eve, so-called black women, Hispanic women, you know, Native American women, we are known to have a higher up in society up against our male counterparts within the nation. So, you know, it might be he has, you know, a 9 to 5, regular, you know, and not nothing crazy, but you know, he working. You know, that's good. That's good. You know, he's putting forth effort, you know, making sure you're good, you know. Everybody is you can't compare. You can't compare. I think that's another thing that's really serious. You don't want to compare this sister's marriage and she stays with her husband and you know they got this and that going on, but oh, my head, he stayed across the country and it's different because he all the way over there. No, you can't treat, you know what I'm saying, like you can't treat your husband a certain type of way just because you don't see him like that. No, you gotta still be submissive, still try to, you know, have a desire towards him, you know, make sure he's straight, you know, he ain't got to do anything for you. You know, it's multiple ways where you can still be that righteous woman, that virtuous woman when you 5 states away, whatever the case is. But I'll go ahead and let you jump in there. I've been talking for a little.
Beautiful point sister brought out. But when I was thinking about this lesson, before you court anybody or you get into a marriage, before you even start courting, you have to be knowledgeable of the law yourself first, like the sister was bringing out. You gotta be built up through the spirit because you don't want to be easily tossed to and fro and manipulated by the scripture. You know, brother, take this precept and take it all out of context. You don't want to be manipulated through the scriptures, and you don't want to be led astray by a wicked brother all because you like him. So it also comes down to not idolizing marriage. You want to be married so bad that you just gonna do whatever this man say, even if it's not even aligned up with scripture. You have
Mhm.
to make sure that you're right in the eyes of the Most High first before you even be trying to seek out courtships and marriages. You know, you have to have some knowledge through the spirit of the Most High, because we're not called to be foolish, silly women. So if your husband is going off, or the brother you're courting has red flags, how will you know if you're not studied, if you're not well studied? So you have to be a well studied sister and know the precepts. You know, I'm not saying like you have to know the deep dark parables about horses and the, you ain't got to know all that, but you at least want to have the milk, like the sister was saying. So I want to get Second Timothy um, um, 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So actually, we're just going ahead and share the screen so y'all can read along with us. So yeah, that was Second Timothy 2:15, and I also wanted to get Sirach 4:22. Um, so I can move that. I gotta bear with me. Accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of man cause thee to fall. So you don't want to trim your ways. You don't want to trim your ways because you. Hold on, let me get that precept because this go hand in hand. Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked one thy ways. So Sirach 4:22 and this precept they go hand in hand. You don't want to act out of what am I trying to say? You don't want to do things that's not right in the eyes of the Most High because you want a man to love you so bad. Like you don't want the love and respect that you have for a man cause you to fall in the eyes of the Most High because you love and respect somebody so bad. Forget what the Bible say. So you can't have other gods for the Most High. You don't want to idolize your husband or idolize the brother you're courting. And that's why it's so important to be connected with the Most High before you seek those things. Exodus 23, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And so a lot of the times, us as women, we kind of, and me, so I speak personally. When I first started courting my head, I was even doing that. Just, just kind of just putting him above the Most High. You know what I mean? So, that would be my advice to sisters before you even start courting. You got to make sure you build up through the spirit. You got to make sure you know the scripture. If not, or else you're going to be led astray. You're not going to know right from wrong, and you're going to be tossed to and fro.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Um, this is Ephesians 4:14, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of man and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie and wait to deceive. So you don't want to be tossed to and fro by every single doctrine you hear because you don't have understanding. You have to have a solid foundation. That's your Habashim Shah. So before you want to court a man and things like that, you have to make sure you have a foundation you have Habashim Shah. Because while you're single, your head is the most high, right? So you have to make sure that you're connected and built up through the spirit. You have to be a well-studied sister. And so if a brother try to hit you with something off, like the sister said, I don't believe in keeping the Sabbath. You know, I don't believe in this. Well, where that's in the Bible? You got to be able to be like precept. Where that's in the Bible? So that would be my advice before we even get into the nitty gritty of courting and marriage long distance. Before you even get there, you have to be right with the Most High first. So,
come
yeah,
and
not to be too
Shalom.
long, just stop there.
I don't know. That was mighty points. Mighty points. I want to pull Sirach 6 and 7 because you got to prove a friend. You
Yeah.
got to prove a friend, and just like the sister said, that's a huge thing. Like you really don't want to. That's why you got to wait till you build up in the spirit to try to jump in a courtship, jump into marriage, because that line between reverencing your husband and idolatry, it can be a slippery slope for some sisters. You got to be able to, you know, balance that thing, you know, trying to do everything you can to be the best wife and all that. But before you do all that, you got to make sure you good with the Most High,
Hmm.
that the best servant you could possibly be.
And before you said that, I was also gonna say real quick what I meant this just to let me back off what you were saying real fast. You don't damn I lost it that quick. I lost it that quick.
It's okay.
Oh, I was also blaming back on what we're talking about being built up through the spirit. You have to be built up through the spirit so you're not easily to, like I said, be manipulated to go off and sin because you don't want a brother to be trying to get you to do something because you got to know what's appropriate and what's not when you're courting. We're gonna get into that because you can't do what married folk do and be courting. Can't do that. You can't be touching each other private areas and all that crazy. It's just a
Freaking off.
fun. Yeah, freaking off because then you done lay it down with a demon and you stuck. Now you crying every night because this man is wicked, and you trying to get your freak on, and you couldn't be patient, and you couldn't wait, and so you don't want to be led to do that. Come on, it won't hurt. Nobody gotta know. I don't even believe in, we can just go about our business. I don't even believe sex is marriage for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like some crazy off stuff, man. Like, you got to be put
Man,
up so that way you're like, nah, this we ain't supposed to be doing this. But how will you know we're not supposed to be doing this if you don't know the law? If you're not well studied, how will you know? I don't think we should be doing this like we're courting, or even in marriage, babe. I don't think we should be doing that. That's not wise. So, I yield. Second.
mighty points. And you know when once you don't cross that threshold, that's it. That's it. I mean, it's really so imperative for us as women to really prove these brothers. Like, it's different for men, but for a woman, marrying somebody is the biggest decision we'll ever make in our whole entire lives. Ever. Period. You can change jobs a million times. You can change where you live a whole bunch of times, whatever. But you can't. Once you lay down with this man, that's it. It's wraps. You're with this man till death do y'all part. Till death do y'all
Yep.
part. That's who you're gonna be with. Is this a brother I can see myself when all hell breaks loose with? If that be in the Lord's will, can I trust that this man is gonna have my best interest at heart? Our children, future children, best interest at heart? These are all things we gotta think about. How does he run his household? How does he, how is he with money? Because yes, it's carnal, but it's a very big thing here in Babylon. Like you gotta know what's going on. You gotta know what's going on through this man's head, because yeah, it's just money and it come and go, but what's one of the big things that we go through in this flesh? Bills be laid, you got this type of thing to pay, this pay, this, whatever. Is this a man that be like, shoot, I don't care about that. I'm gonna spend it on this, and that. You're on your own. You gotta know what you're getting yourself into, and it's hard
That's
to kind of know that when you long distance. Because even in person, if say this dude is in your same city, it's hard to see that too, because a lot of people will put on a front. People will put on a front, and that's why I always advise court as long as you possibly can. Court until you can't court no more, because once it's
look.
done, it's done.
I know
Because
we
people
all
can.
in. Oh, so go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was saying people can hide, man, for some months. Hide who they truly are, how they really feel, they really going once they get you, then they a whole different person. Stuff like that happens to sisters. It's very unfortunate, but a lot of things can be eliminated through proving. But I yield.
And I know most of y'all, or most of us, have heard about, or have heard about Risa Tisa and Legion, right? If you sat up there and watched all that stuff, you crazy. I did like a little summary, and I know y'all know. Did you ever like listen to a summary or anything about Legion?
I didn't listen to not one clip.
So I listened to like a few, and then I ended up just watching like a short summary because I wasn't for listening to all that. But that brother concealed who he really was for for months, and you don't want to be in that type of situation. And again, when we say you have to be built up, because at the end of the day, a wicked woman is given to a wicked man, and a godly woman is given to a godly man. And so you having all these crazy marital problems, issues. Your husband is going off. He's wicked. Well, the scriptures say what it say, and that's not always the case though, because we do have Abigail and Nabal. That was a woman of good understanding. She feared the Most High, but she had a foolish man, right? But we just want to make sure that we're doing what's pleasing in the Most High sight, so that we can be paired with somebody that we're equally yoked with. You know what I mean? Um, and that's why it's just very important to take your time and just allow the Most High to lead you and guide you in everything and every decision you make, and not rush. I know, especially like when you're single, because we both were single right before we courted and before we got married, so we can definitely speak from experience. But I know that feeling of wanting to be with somebody, but
So
don't covet that. Don't envy it. Don't covet it. Just let when you're single, it's a good. It's of course it's a beautiful desire to want to be married, Most High willing, one day. But your main focus really should be the Most High. Period. Point blank. Because this is Matthew 6:33. Hold on, let me get it. Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So we should be seeking the Most High and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. A husband, Most High willing, children, Most High willing, a home, Most High willing. Like me and Sis Yawanah and I are living on our prayers that we prayed for the Most High for months and months and months and years, that we be with our husbands in person, be living with them. These are the things that we pray for. So as long as you continue to seek the Most High and his kingdom, he's gonna add those things into you in his time when he see fit. But you sisters, when you're single, you really got to take that time really to build yourself up, because like Paul said, we're just gonna get what Paul said. This is First Corinthians chapter 7. um Let me see, I'm gonna start at verse number 32. But I will have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried care for the things that belongeth to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married care for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There's difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman care for things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married care for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction. And so, marriage is a beautiful thing. It's honorable in the sight of the Most High, but we don't have all the time that we used to have one on one with the Most High. And that's exactly what Paul just said. And me and his sister can attest to that. So, single sisters, take your time. Don't rush. Take your time, because when you get married, their life is gonna look totally different. And especially when you become a mother, you're not even the same person anymore. You're not going to be the same person, and you'll never get that life back. So you have to take your time and just really just enjoy every season, because I promise you're going to look back and be like, dang, I really should have studied more, and really should have, practiced some more recipes more, so I can perfect in that area. So if you're single, take this time to perfect in recipes, increase yourself up through the spirit and your prayer life. Use that time to be knowledgeable, so you're not ignorant in any matter, big or small, so that when you get with your husband, you're of use to him. Because our whole point of women is to be helpmeet. So you want to be that perfect as possible. And we're not the perfect wives, but we want to strive to be as perfect as possible, as blameless as possible, unto the Most High, and for our husbands, being that pillar rest that they need us to be, being pleasing in our sight. So we want to be of use and helpful to them. And how can we do that if we're not building ourselves up and through the spirit with the time that we have? So I know how it feels to want to be married, and it's a beautiful thing. But just take your time and just continue to seek the Most High. As long as you continue to seek the Most High and focus on serving the Most High, He will add those things unto you. He will guide your steps and allow you to be courting a righteous man, Most High willing. But until that door gets open, praise him in the hallway and use this time wisely, because you're not going to get that time back. I promise you.
come on, come on, and I don't know if you see the comments, but Sister brought out a mighty point. Um, if any brother is trying to rush and touch, and that just goes into what the sister was saying. You gotta be built up in this thing. Have some discernment to know, okay, we shouldn't be touching on each other. We known each other for 4 weeks, for 3 months. You know, all that it's too much. It's too much. You should be able to. You said what?
No, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Fine. I was just saying, like, I forgot what I was gonna say. But if he's just trying to touch and feel and all that, you should be able to point out, okay, this brother might have a lust demon on him. Maybe we need to, separate, Let them know, hey brother, I'm not cool with that. We barely know each other. We still proving each other. That's not wise. We don't need to link up until you got that under control. Plain. And it does take a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. I would say don't even think about courting if you haven't even been in the truth for a year. That's me. That's me speaking to a woman. Because that first year, okay, I just found out I'm an Israelite. Boom. I'm trying to make sure I'm keeping the laws right and all that. That whole year. And sisters can attest. Those have been in this thing for years and years. That first year, lots of growth, lots of changing, lots of ups, lots of downs. You kind of still some people kind of fall back a little bit into the world and come right back. It's a lot going on. So you don't that needs to be the last thing on your mind. Use that year to get right, be well versed in the scriptures, this and that. But if you're also, because it's not just the brothers, sisters, they get a little hot. They get a little hot too now. And that just goes into knowing you. In the world, if in the world you struggle with that lust demon, I mean, it's this flesh, but that just goes into knowing yourself. I want that precept. Please. Going into knowing yourself, you got to examine yourself because
So, like,
it,
do you want examine yourselves or prove your own soul, or both?
both. Just pull both mighty. But yeah, that just goes into examining yourself, knowing what's good and evil for your spirit. Because if you know, hey, if this brother, you know, feel on my butt, I'm not gonna stop him, and it's gonna lead to this and that. Y'all don't need to link. Y'all need to keep, texting or whatever, or you gotta. That just goes in you preventing that situation from even happening, because you don't want to be in a situation where you moving too fast and you gotta repent, and it's just a lot of heartbreak. But this is 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. So prove yourself. Know what kind of person you are. Use that time that you're single to figure out what kind of woman you are. Use that time to heal from everything you went through in the world. All those past relationships, all that takes healing and time. You can't just jump. I'm married now, but you're bringing in baggage from 2-3 years ago. No,
A legion of demons.
exactly, and it's so important because you don't want to bring those spirits into your new household, because this could be a very much a righteous man, and you tripping, and you not treating this brother right. And we know how the Most High is, with men, and how he deals with them on a different level. You don't want to be that wicked woman and you giving a prophet of the Most High hell because you weren't ready, because you weren't healed, because you still got spirits and demons. And granted, we're not going to be absolutely perfect when we get married, don't get me wrong, but certain things we can work on and try to be better at and be at a point to where we are able to handle marriage according to the Most High. But I do.
Very, very, very mighty and great points. Kale, how about Shamasha? Sister brought that out.
Okay, so
You gotta have time. You gotta know yourself, and you gotta know yourself. You gotta know your triggers, and you gotta know the things that you slack in. You gotta know the things that you need to heal from, and that'll be a great time to do that before you trying to worry about getting married and courting a brother. You know, focus on healing and being renewed through the spirit. Because how can you want to be married, but you don't even know how to be a wife? You don't even know nothing about it, because you're not even renewed and built up to the spirit. You just want it, and you want it because you see everybody else doing it. That's why you have to be content. You have to be content and not compare yourself. You have to Marriage is not a game. For Philippians 4 and 11, not that I speak in respect of one, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, there is to be content. I know both how to be abased, I know how to abound everywhere, and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to bound to suffer need. So you have to be able to be content no matter what state you're in, no matter what life looks like. You have to be thankful because that's the Most High's will for your life. That's why Paul said, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, yeah, concerning you. This is the will of Yahweh concerning you." Let me just get it. Um, so you gotta just be thankful, no matter what it looks like, because that's the most I will for your life. And everything give thanks for this the will of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah Hamashiach concerning you. So you just gotta be thankful and content no matter where you at. And just take your time. Really just take your time. Don't covet it. Don't covet and envy somebody else's life and then somebody else's marriage. You have to like we constantly keep saying, you have to be well studied through the spirit, and be renewed. Um, what's that precept? Um, mm, 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. And therefore, if any man being Yahweh Shai, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things become new. So we become new creatures when we come into this truth. When we come into the knowledge of who we are, and we're in Yahweh Shema Shai now. So you have to continue to put off the old woman day in and day out, because although we become new creatures, you don't become like a whole new person overnight. It takes time, it takes work, it takes removing those, unlearning, removing those spirits, removing, healing from those traumas, removing anything that's not of the Most High, anything that's not godly. Those things takes time. It takes time. So don't rush into it. Like I said, you want to be a wife, but you don't even know really how to be a wife. Because you're not you're not studied. You know what I mean? um in order to be a wife, you have to have those wifely characteristics, those godly characteristics, and those don't come overnight. That comes by being made new. That comes by being tried through the fire. It comes by a lot of fast, a lot of praying, and those things just don't happen overnight. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years. You just have to trust the process. Oh yeah.
Come on, man. And you'll pull this from me, Sirach 39:33. Because the Lord, He'll give every needful thing in due season. Enjoy that season of being single. And if the Most High permits, enjoy that season of courting. Because sister's gonna tell you this, if you already married, that courting season is sweet. Everything is rainbows and you feeling butterflies and oh my gosh, I love him so much. This is my man. I can't wait to see him. I'm booking the flight. I'm getting gas in my car. We planning the trip. We go see him. He coming to see me. All that good stuff. But we can't be blinded. So in love to the point where we missing them red flags. We can't do that. We can't do that. We gotta make sure that we're praying first and foremost. Lord, please reveal to me anything I need to see in this brother that is not of you. Pray that the Most High is the center of y'all's courtship and future marriage, Lord willing. And I just want to say this to sisters: don't feel like if you're in a courtship with a brother and you feel something in your spirit, something convicting in your spirit, is something just not right, or y'all been at it for about whatever it is, something going wrong according to the scriptures, whatever the case may be. Don't feel like, oh well, we're cornered, so we have to get married. No, no, that's the whole point of proving one another. Because if it don't work out, it don't work out. And that's Romans 8. I want that. Please. All things work together for our good. 8 and 28. Because that, not every courtship leads to marriage, unfortunately, and fortunately for some people.
I can
So
attest to that. We both can attest to that.
we both can attest to that. Because hey, all praise the Most High. No shade, no nothing, but you feel me?
Ooh,
Everybody's not meant to be together. Just because they look like this or y'all click like this as friends, so maybe or they taught something out of the scriptures. Oh, well, maybe, oh, he slid in my DM. Maybe that's why I gotta seek the Lord. You gotta seek the Lord with everything, especially when talking about becoming one with somebody. It's a big deal. This is Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose. So, just like we've been saying the whole live, if your sister is sincere in this thing, Most High willing, you'll get paired up. If the Most High sees fit with a righteous man, Lord willing. Lord willing. That's the hope and the desire. But you got to make sure you praying for that discernment and praying that the Most High keeps you circumspect as well through those seasons. Because, again, don't want to be caught out there. How you?
God, I'll praise the Most High. Like, I don't want us to feel like you have to be married in order to get the kingdom because you
Yes, I
don't.
was going to say that. I was going to say that.
Like,
You
that's
did.
not in the Bible. And I've actually heard that doctrine before. I have. It's crazy.
Don't be bullied into a marriage either. That's what I
That's
meant
like
to say.
it's literally not biblical.
It's not at
It is
all.
not. You can't find a Bible verse to back it up. That's why you have to be well studied so you're not getting manipulated by scripture and somebody twisting scripture and you like, oh, that makes sense, that makes sense. And it don't even make sense. It's madness.
Right.
Like, yes,
And
it's good to have a hedge of protection, but at the end of the day, when our hell break loose, Lord willing, the Most High is gonna be your protection. If he sees fit, He might allow you to be up under brother's protection without having to be married to him. Just like the scripture say, 7 women shall cleave to one man in that day.
yep.
So, just to be called by His name. So it's like I don't want sisters to feel like you have to be married in order to get the kingdom, and you're not gonna endure Jacob's trouble if you're not married, because that's nowhere in the Bible. Just have faith. We don't even know. For us married sisters, we don't even know if we're gonna be with our husbands and our hell break loose. We don't know. I hope and pray, but we don't know. So
Yes.
I wouldn't even give that too much thought. Just trust that the Most High is gonna protect you in that day, and that you'll be under your husband or Lord willing under a righteous man to help guide and lead you in that day, Most High willing. But you don't have to be married to get the kingdom of heaven. So make sure. I just don't want sisters to think that to feel pressured into marriage because they don't think they can get the kingdom without it. Because Judith was a widow and she was a mighty
Yep.
sister, mighty sister. And are we gonna say that she's not getting the kingdom because she's a widow? Like, who are we to say that? You know what I mean? So, I also
Um.
want to. I also want to say, work out your own salvation with trembling and fear, because just because you're married, don't mean you're getting the kingdom either. And your husband can't get the kingdom of heaven for you. So yes, he can guide you, he can lead you, he can help you get understanding. But sometimes we get a little too comfortable. It's your job to make sure you read and studying. It's not your husband is a grown man. He shouldn't have to tell you to read. He shouldn't have to tell you to study. And you're a grown woman. So that goes back into being built up through the spirit and loving the Most High and not having nobody before the Most High. Because you love the Most High, you will need to be told to read and study. Your husband won't have to tell you to read and study. Your husband won't have to tell you to pray. You all it's innate, it's second nature, because you're built up through the spirit and you love your God that much. So even for my married sisters, and I speak to myself, we have to make sure that we stand on our P's and Q's, or our reading, our studyings. And if Lord willing, you and your husband can have y'all family reads and studyings, but you have to make sure you get your individuals reading in with the Most High, and especially us mothers, we got to get it in still. Like if you, even like I've noticed, because my daughter, she's She's 6 weeks today. I'll praise the Most High. Wow, that's crazy. So she's 6 weeks. So she's a Velcro baby right now. And I've noticed because she likes to be on me so much as I got my phone in my hand, that's a lot of time to read on my phone, to type down some notes on my phone, to listen to a video on my phone. Like, and especially for my breastfeeding moms, like breastfeeding sessions are pretty lengthy. So as much time as you got that baby on that tit, look, perfect time for you to whip up the Bible app and read. Perfect time. Like there's no excuses. No excuses at all. We just have to learn how to maneuver around our children's schedule and learn how to maneuver around, our husband's needs, and to the point where we're still serving our family, but we're still serving the Most High and our reading our studies. And of course, serving our family is serving the Most High, but this word is living waters. We're gonna be dry and dead and drenched and quench of thirst without it. So we need these living waters. We need the words of Yahweh Shema Shah. We got to stay in that day in and day out. Like that's not an option. So I just wanted to remind married sisters of that. Work out your own salvation and be on your P's and Q's through the Spirit.
Come
And even just listening to a video. Like me personally, lately I've just been having edifying stuff playing in the background. Just doing some quick study sessions on my phone since I be on it so much. Um, you know, and you're just trying to just stay occupied through the Spirit. You know, keeping your hands busy and trying to keep your spirit uplifted. So kind of you.
on. Mighty, mighty points, man. Mighty, mighty points. But yeah, I guess we can just take any questions. Oh yeah, sisters, if you're just joining, this is a Q&A. This is a Q&A. So if any sisters are in a long distance courtship or is about to be in one, or you're just single and you're wondering, or even if you're a married sister, you have whatever. If you're in a long distance marriage and you have a question, bring that thing out. Bring that thing out. Like we were saying earlier, me and Abiria long distance courted our husbands, and we were married long distance before the Most High saw fit for us to be able to be under one roof with our heads, all praise the Most High. I'll speak on that a little bit. So I got mom brain. Trying to figure out how long. I feel like we've talked about this before, though. I didn't court my husband as long as I would have wanted to. Looking back at it.
And look, that's why we're able to tell our stories and encourage other sisters to court longer than we did and things like that. Because I didn't either.
Yeah. And it's not to say like, oh, they don't like their husbands or they regret getting married. No, it's not the case. It's just knowing what we know now, it would have been wiser to wait, to hold off and not be so hasty. Cause it can be the right person, but you hasty. You hasty with it. You so eager to Like, for example, I would have preferred if we would have waited until we got our own place together. Till we were able to not be long distance. I would have preferred that, but obviously most I had other plans. But that's just an example. Like if you're a sister, you might be in, a messed up situation. You might be under your parents' house, they're not in the truth, they vexing you, they doing what worldly people do. And your husband all the way out there, or your parents might not see it as a marriage because it's not on paper, or what, all types of stuff can be going on. But you got to be long suffering. You got to endure that thing. Is that something you can be able to hold out? Your head, you and your head might be working to try to get this place together, working. He might push the time back. Oh no, we're not gonna move in. Or are you able to handle that? Is that person worth it for you? These are things you gotta weigh in the balance. You gotta weigh in the balance, and I'm gonna get a preset real quick because If y'all been courting for a while and you say you love this person, let me get 1 Corinthians 13 and 4. Because this is a classic precept, but I'm gonna read all the way to 7. But in another translation, I don't remember which translation, but it's one of them. Charity equals love. So keep that in mind as I read it. Verse 4, charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. So, hey, you say you want to marry this person, you want to be one with this person, you got to bear all things. You got to endure through those times where, it's been months and months you haven't seen this man, and, he might not be doing his part as a husband or doing his part as, the brother that you're courting. That don't mean oh man, forget this man. He not doing what he's supposed to do. Because that's not realistic. That's not what marriage is. Because in marriage, ain't no forget this person. I'm gonna do me. These are the things you gotta think about before you enter a situation like that. But I yield. I'll let you jump in that thing.
Con, sister said, count the costs. Like me in my head, we had a whole plan on how we wanted to do it. And I mean, I don't regret anything because it was the Most High's perfect will, and I love my husband to death, and I wouldn't trade him for the world. But we're able to help encourage sisters to do better than what we did. You know what I mean? Because we wanted to wait till we had our own. I'm talking about we had it all planned out. Oh, I had it all planned out. We was gonna get a place. We was gonna woo, and then we were gonna get married, and but that didn't happen. That's not. And I personally feel like we were, and I mean I speak as a woman, because I don't know why the Most High did it, but I'm thankful that He did because we grew through the Spirit. Our marriage our love was stronger. But I speak as a woman when I say that. I mean, the Most High, us making us long distance for almost 2 years, probably because you reap the fruit and the benefits of all your actions. So because we were so hasty, right? Probably why we were long distance for 2 years. You want to be hasty, okay? I'll make you wait. But I speak as a woman though, so I'm just saying, take your time. If you're able to hold off and wait till y'all get a place, do that. You can see y'all's tied or not. But okay.
And that'll really tell you something. If that's another red flag. You be like, hey, I really want to wait, and that's how you gotta test. You gotta you know test the waters. Throw out some questions, make them think, and see what they respond, how they respond, what they really thinking, what their thought process. Because you're like, hey, I've been thinking, I want to wait until we get our own place to get married. If he be like, why you want to do that? No, I was trying to woo the woo before we did all that. All that might tell you, that may or may not tell you something. Certain situations like that. I would definitely say ask every question you need to. It's sisters that just like we were saying earlier, knowing yourself. If you know that you get irritated when he leaves his drawers on the floor every day, every time he get out the shower, he leave his drawers on the floor. That really takes you off to a different level. You might want to, test that theory out. Like, hey, how are you? Clean, a clean man? Are you kind of like in the middle? Like, what it is. And then I guess that could be a con, I guess, because you don't know how they are in person. So they might be cool. Oh yeah, the conversation good and all that, but living with them is a whole different situation. They say you never know somebody until you live with them, and it's very true. It's so true. But you was gonna say something?
Con, I was gonna say, even with the like leaving drawers on the floor, that might be something every sister need to get used to. Cause I ain't saying everybody husband leave drawers on the floor, but let's be real. Men tend to not be the tidiest, so you gonna be picking up behind them regardless. Like, trust me, you might open the fridge and there's a half bitten apple just sitting there. Like, why? Why in your right mind did you think this was okay? I That
Okay.
has happened to me. Like, why did you leave this half bitten apple in here like that?
Yeah.
But you know, every man isn't the tidiest, but that's just counting across as women and wives in general. But the sister definitely had a good point. You don't really know nobody till you live with them. So when you're long distance, that's a good time to practice to see, okay, how is this man? Like when y'all get a hotel, when y'all see each other or B&B, wherever y'all stay at, you
Mm.
gonna see, you gonna see. Trust me. I had already seen before me and my husband got married. I already knew what I was dealing with because we saw each other so much long distance. Like when I tell y'all, I was booking flights to
Sis was
y'all
booking them
not,
flights. She was.
I was in I was in Georgia faithfully, like so much. You would have
Yep.
thought I stayed in Georgia. But
Facts.
all praise to the Most High. But I knew what I was dealing with. I knew what I was dealing with in my head because I seen how he was when we like had an Airbnb or hotel, or even when we was at his parents' house. I seen it. And so when you meet up with your husband, or when you know when you, so like when you meet up with the brother you're courting long distance, y'all you're gonna see, you're gonna just be my just pick up, just kind of just watch and see, and you're gonna see how clean he is or whatnot. Not to say that should be a deal breaker because we're women, so our job is to like clean up after him. We're here to help him. He don't know what he's doing, so um, con
Right. Con. And even just on a spiritual level, like I wouldn't advise no sister to marry somebody that you haven't seen them when they're mad. You should know how they act when they're mad. Do they cuss you out like you a B word on the street? Do they hit? Are they very aggressive, like more than the average person about a small thing, or even if it's a big thing? Like how they act when they're angry? Because unfortunately, there's men in Israel, they put their hands on women, and it's absolutely ridiculous and it's horrible, but it's real life. It's real life. Brothers, they're in this flesh too. They got demons on them. They're subject to have demons on them. So I feel. So these are things you want to look out for. How do they act when they're sad? Do they completely block you off? They fall off the face of the earth. Then they come back. Like, these it's you gotta see. How are they when they're happy? All these things are things you want to put into perspective, and it's kind of hard, not impossible, but it's kind of hard if you do a long distance. But there's ways around it. I would say definitely communicate a lot. Even though, of course, it's gonna be a lot of that because you're long distance. All you can do is really talk. Unless y'all gonna link up, but talk, have the hard conversations. Don't try to play it cutesy. Oh, I don't know how he gonna respond if I ask it. No, no, this is somebody you talking about being over you, being the future father of your kids. Somebody that is supposed to lead you, guide you. You know, ask the questions, ask the hard questions, ask the uncomfortable questions, because there will be a point where you can't ask those questions no more, or you'll ask those questions and it won't matter because you're already in the situation. But kind of, yeah.
con have those hard conversations. I remember in my head, he didn't even really want to court me for real. Like he
Hmm.
did. I mean, that's why she's saying that because he did. He shot a shot. But he like when we started texting, he was skeptical because we were so far. He we were so far, and like so he was kind of on edge about it, but he couldn't resist the princess. So no, I'm playing.
Sure.
But we ended up sticking through with it.
Mhm.
I don't remember if I think I kind of gave him like a pep talk, like we can do this. I don't even remember. It's a blur, bro. I feel like that was a different life because it was. But so yeah, yeah, I would say long distance for I would say long distance with the right man is definitely worth it.
Heck yes.
It's worth it.
Yes.
It
This is
is.
definitely not a video to, talk down on long distance relationship, because it takes a lot of long suffering, endurance. That's a big test. And the most I see you fit to stick it out, hey, all praise the most high. Show up and show out for the Lord, showing that, hey, you can have some discipline, self restraint, all that stuff is, and
Mm.
we'll get the precept, Galatians chapter 5. You gotta have fruits of the spirit. That's part of the fruits of the spirit. Long suffering. Because you don't need a whole bunch of long suffering.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like every fruit is tested.
Every
Let's
fruit.
get that precept. Good point.
hmm
Do you want to read it? Or you want me to read it?
You can read it.
But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there's no law. So I can. They already have a shot of crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. So you're definitely going to be tested in your marriage, um, long distance and courting long distance. Definitely like tested on a sexual level. You might have brothers trying to flirt with you, trying to get at you, but you're long distance from your head, so you feel like you can kind of, and you don't want to feel like you can slick be. You don't want to be sneaky, trying to flirt with other brothers, and you know, not being the shame face as you would if your husband was around, right? Or if the brother you're courting was with you and y'all were out. You're gonna be testing on a sexual level of like websites and like maybe touching yourself because these are real things people struggle with. You can be tested. You're gonna be sad sometimes. You're gonna be tested in being sad sometimes because you're gonna miss your head, or you're gonna miss the brother you're courting. Your
Joy.
faith
That's
might be
joy.
tested because you're gonna be like, you might have thoughts of like how much longer. I speak all from experience. Everything I'm saying, I speak from experience because my hair was long distance, and definitely, I would say for me personally, it was a huge faith test. I mean, huge endurance test. There were so many nights I just wanted to be next to my head, but I couldn't. And it's like sometimes we set a date and then it get pushed back. Set another date, it get pushed back. Set another date, it get pushed back again. And so it's like it was times where I just was like, I'm tired. I mean, it felt like forever, but then, we eventually moved and felt like a dream come true. So all praises. And
Oh,
that's why we encourage single sisters to take your time because marriage is not easy. And we don't want to scare y'all when we say that, but it's not easy and it's a very serious thing. So definitely, definitely, definitely take your time. Take your time, please.
come.
Like it's not just stuff you see in the movies and it's not what you see on social media because anybody can post a picture on social media. Let's be real, social media is a front. People get on there and they post the good stuff, but they don't post the bad stuff. They don't post the arguments they had. They don't post the disagreements. They don't post the spirits that their husband is struggling with, or the spirits that they might be struggling with as women. Even for mothers, we don't post the hard nights we have postpartum. Like some people might have a few transparency posts here and there, but social media is a place where people just come and show, you know, the world what their life been like, and some people use it for edifying purposes and things of whatnot of that nature. Um, but marriage is not what you see. You can't compare your marriage and courtship to anybody else's because that's y'all journey, and it's gonna look different. And you just gotta take it serious because it's not all peaches and cream. Sometimes there's going to be times where you might feel like the love is dying, or you might feel disconnected from your spouse. You might feel, you know, but these are all, you got to count the cost. You got to count the cost, because there were plenty of times I just felt disconnected from my head. I felt like we just weren't there. But I mean, we were long distance. We were freaking 15 hours away from each other, so that probably played a part in it. But there's a lot of times I just felt like, man, I don't know, something just seemed off, and it's like we were already married at this point, but I just felt really disconnected. But that's just that was that long distance. That was that 15-hour distance. That's what that was.
Okay.
Um, so
Con. And sister dropped a mighty point in the chat. And Shabbat Shalawam, sis. Welcome to the channel. Well, this is a Beery channel, but welcome to her channel. The sister said, Con, you must be long suffering because marriage and children just raises up the stakes where you must stay in the spirit and be faithful and patient. Con.
yeah,
Has
because your
to.
kids looking up to you.
Exactly. Once you win it, you gotta pull them panties up and get the fighting. For real. So how much more, when you single or when you're courting, you got that time to, we can't abuse the Most High's grace period in so many aspects. But this time where we have this grace, to get right in the spirit, before how Shy comes back, we got a grace period, if you're a single sister. You got a grace period when you're courting. You got this grace period. Okay, we courting right now. I still got time. We long distance. Get myself together. I can work on this because I know I got trust issues and this and that. Because that's a huge thing too. If you a sister, we women, it happens. But if you got some severe trust issues, this man don't text you back as soon as you send the text, and you, dang, well, what's going on, and what you doing, and where you at, and this, that, and believe it or not, men, they're not really too fond of that. Not too many that, from my experience, but trust issue. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, and that's something that it goes into knowing yourself, just like we were saying, examining yourself. You got trust issues. Maybe you don't want to do long distance. Maybe you need to do some more. Obviously, you need to do some more, self work, inner work. But maybe you need to look into somebody in the city. But I also wanted to bring out this one point from my personal experience too, because man, me and my head, we courted for what, 3 months? Man, I do not advise that for nobody. 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 I was even gonna make an exception, but I don't advise that for nobody. Unless you've been friends with this man, I guess. But even then, it's kind of like that's shaky waters right there. But
Friends and spouses for life is two different things, sis.
yeah, that's very different, very different. And you don't want to have too many men, but that's a different story for a different time. But it's Shabbat Shalom. But kind we courted for 3 months. We were long distance, and I was still in college. Different life, man. We were staying in 2 different states, and then we were in the same state but different cities. And then eventually, the Most High saw fit that we were able to come together. So we were probably long distance, married for almost a year. Yeah, we were married long distance almost a year, and then courted for 3 years. So, oh my gosh, not 3 years, 3 months. 3 months. So, I say this to say, definitely Definitely, definitely, definitely amp up the fruits of the spirit. You can't go wrong. Play the little game we used to play. Me and Amiri, we used to play fruits of the spirit game because we was both in long distance relationships. We would pull, a fruit of the spirit. Okay, we're gonna work on this today. We're gonna work on being meek. How can I be meek to this man today? How can I be meek in general today? And hey, all praise the most high. According for a year and a half. That's what we like to hear.
Roof, 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 roof,
That
roof.
is amazing. That is
Um,
amazing. Yes. Khan. Shabbat Shalawam. Great points. It's wise to take your time, but once you win it, you win it. Khan. Once you win it, you win it. That's it.
yeah.
You gotta play the cards you dealt. And we gonna keep saying this. We're gonna keep saying this because once you're in it, that's it. It's the biggest decision. Like it's not a light thing to become one with somebody. Like that's it. Because if you do it and then you decide, oh, this man, he not for me, woo woo, I'm gonna go see what Jimmy John talking
That's
about.
off.
That's off. That's off. And now you're in adultery and you just committed adultery with this man, and now you just made this man commit adultery, and now you suffering blood. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's not
Oh,
worth
yes.
salvation. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And this is why courting is such a beautiful and imperative thing. What kind of you?
Sister bringing it out. All praise to the Most High.
Okay, my son.
Um, Con, me and my head, we courted 6 months. Not as long as I would have liked either. It's double the, hey, double the your.
Right, right. Hey, that's better than me.
But now I definitely recommend courting longer than that.
Mhm.
And we were married long distance for mm, I think a year and a half. Yeah,
You sound about right.
yeah, like a year. It was almost 2 years. So in total, we were long distance for almost 2 years. Like when we moved, it was knocking on almost 2 years of long distance, courting and married.
Mm.
So double to hers again. And
Yep.
it's just the most high. Like me and Sister Yawanah and I, we've had very similar experiences and lots. But our marriages are still different nonetheless, right? So we can't, even us, we can't compare our marriages because, she moved quicker. Her head, they got a place and became under the one roof before me and my head did. And even then, when she went through her experience of first getting there, she was able to help me when I first moved, and it's very funny, very funny.
Yep.
Um, Sister got pregnant soon as she moved, and so did I.
Wait a second now.
That's not what happened.
why? Why you say it like that?
I ain't meant to sound like that. My bad.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't saying
But
like, babe, children is beautiful.
hey, that's all praise
What's
to the Most
wrong?
High though. That's more praise to the Most High because that's a beautiful thing about how the Lord works. He had us long distance for a reason. We had to wait a while. I mean, we got denied some places. Getting a crib together, and then boom, we finally get our place together, and boom, I got pregnant, and the Lord, He can work like that. He can work like that. That goes into that long suffering we were talking about. Are you willing to stick it out with this man that you talking about courting, so y'all can reap the benefits together in the end,
Yeah.
Lord willing? Having that faith that everything's gonna work out, that we're gonna be together eventually. We're gonna be able to, you know, reap what we've been sowing. But
Yeah.
Con, go back, go back, go back. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, go ahead.
But the same thing happened to me though. Like, soon as I moved, I got pregnant. Like, it's so funny because me and his sister literally have like similar lots. It's funny. Like,
Yep.
so, but everything that I experienced, she experienced before me. So she was able to even help me, when I was going through the same things. So we
Mhm.
moved in June, and we haven't even been living together for a year. Um, but we moved in June, and lo and behold, 2 weeks later, pregnancy test positive. So it and that reminds me of what me and my head just read in Corinthians the other night. Like the spiritual, the natural man cannot perceive spiritual things, because us in the spirit, we know that was only the Most High to get pregnant like that. That's a miracle, Dana. Like, oh, praise it.
Mm-hmm.
My some I'm not. Let me just say, somebody that's close to me had the audacity to try to say I was lying about when I got pregnant because I got pregnant so soon. Talking about, you must have been pregnant in Texas the whole time and didn't, like, how the heck? So it's like that just goes to show the Most High his power, bro. Like, people don't even believe, they have the faith that something like that can happen, to the
Yeah.
to point where you think I'm lying that I was pregnant in Texas, because I used to live in Texas, but I wasn't. I literally got pregnant, like, we moved June 15th, and according to Esau Science, we conceived June 19th or 20th, 4 or 5 days after. But people in the faith, they don't they not able to perceive, like, dang, that's the Most High. They thinking she lying her ass off, she didn't get pregnant. But we did though. So it's
Okay.
like, that's the Most High. That's the Most High allowing us to reap our the fruit of being long suffering, like the sister said, that we endured, because that was hard, and it probably was one of the, like, happiest days of my life. One of them moving and coming down here, and my parents bringing me down here too, and that's all praise to the Most High that I had my parents' support, because not everybody has that. So, um, con, are you?
Come man. Yeah, this only the Most High, and it's really funny that you bring that up because it's crazy, man. It's crazy. The Most High bless me with my sister right here, and it really do be crazy because a lot of the same stuff, man. I couldn't even lie to y'all. Same stuff, same BS, same good stuff, all types of stuff be happening, man, and it'll be one after another. I go
Yep,
through it, turn around, she'll go through it, or it'll be the other way around, man. It's a beautiful thing. I want to
yep.
trade it for nothing. I know
That's one of those
we,
things common to man. So, like, it common to man.
oh yeah, we definitely go through things common to man, and that's why you need sisters.
Con, sisterhood is beautiful. and,
Mm,
none of our marriage ain't perfect, and our courtships weren't perfect, but that's why we're here to help other sisters and do things better than what we did or differently, and able to advise y'all on how to move in your marriages and in your courtships, especially long distance. But
uh,
if you have any questions, please drop
please.
them, because this is a Q&A, so we're going to go ahead and get into some questions.
Hmm,
Our
hmm.
first one: what were some of the struggles that came along with it, and what were some of the benefits, if there were any? Um, we kind of already touched on, like, benefits a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, and the struggles as we were speaking. But if you wanted to have a more elaborate answer, um,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We're gonna benefits first. Um, just like I was saying, if you know you're a sister that hasn't completely aced self control, or you might be a very meek sister, a very shy sister. You don't know how to say no if somebody is doing something they shouldn't be doing to you. You know, maybe you want to do something long distance. Not saying that that brother will do it, but you're not going to even give him the opportunity because y'all are long distance and y'all are only going to be talking and texting. I would say that's a benefit. I would say it will definitely build your fruits of the spirit. It'll definitely build up your fruits of the spirit. It'll definitely build up your long suffering, your endurance, your patience. Definitely your patience. You know, patient on, when you'll be able to see them, patient on when y'all be able to get married, patience on when y'all be able to stay together, so on and so forth. Um, some other benefits. I'm trying to think. If you have any benefits, by all means.
I'm gonna just say in a nutshell, being able to grow in the spirit. So, like,
Mhm.
using that time to practice different recipes, like finding out what are some of his favorite dishes and, kind of perfecting those. Um, that's something I probably should have did and asked my head, like, what's something like one of your favorite desserts? Because one of his favorite desserts is pound cake. And kid you not, other day I was asking I was asking him, what was one of his favorite desserts beside the ones I knew, and he told me pound cake. And so I'm asking him questions, and he like, "Why are you asking me this?" And I was like, "I'm just curious." He like, and my head was like, he was like, "Don't be trying to buy me no pound cake, babe. Don't buy me no pound cake. Everybody can make pound cake." And I was like, "I'm not trying to buy it." And I wasn't gonna tell him I'm asking you this so I can secretly make you want to surprise you with it. This man say, I don't want no pound cake for they my auntie pound cakes. I'm like, well, God, dog. But Lord, I'm gonna still make that pound cake. So I just said that to say, like, I could have used that time if I would have been asking that before. I could have perfected, that recipe and then possibly made him a good pound cake. Whether it tastes like his auntie's or not, it don't matter. But I would say one of like just benefits in general, like I said, through the spirit is just being able to use that time to increase through the spirit. Like being able to use that time to work on your anger, work on your mouth,
Yeah.
because that's something I definitely worked on, and I'm still working on because I have my days, but I definitely worked on my mouth and controlling my temper, being and I had so much downtime. Like I worked full time, but I still had like a whole long night. Whereas nights now that um, child, I mean, nights then used to look so much different. It
Yeah.
used to look so much different. But now I don't have that same downtime. Sister asked Auntie for the recipe. Well, I think I'm gonna try it first, and then I'm gonna ask her if it don't turn out good. But I'm gonna have faith that it do.
Mhm.
But I might ask her for the recipe. I just might. I just might.
Right, right, right.
We gonna see. I just might, cause I don't want
So,
to mess up, and then he be like, "What is this?"
uh,
But I am, but I'm on my baking. I'm in my baking era right now. You feel what I'm saying? So, Lord, our person most high, I want to give it a try. So I don't know. Um,
mhm, mhm.
I might just ask him for his auntie recipe because that's what he would like. Our desires unto our husband. Anyways, but I think benefit in general is building yourself up to the spirit. You have so much time to build yourself up to the spirit. You have so much time to work on yourself. You find some righteous hobbies, like use that time wisely because you're not gonna have that same time. And some of the struggles that came with it, like we're already kind of talking about some of those things, like not being able to see them as much as often. Um,
Mhm.
you're gonna get tried in the flesh. You are. You definitely
Yep.
are. Your eyes might wonder, you might be like, is this even worth it? There's so many brothers down here. Um, brothers might try to flirt at you, holler at you while you're long distance. Um, struggling just of enduring in general, of keeping the faith because it's hard. So I would say that was some of the struggles that came with it. But remembering that we can do all things to Hashah Mashiach and that the Most High saw us fit. And so I had to remember that it was an end goal. Long distance wasn't going to be forever. And even when I would have my sad moments, I just have to remember there is an end goal. There's a goal here that we're trying to get to, and Lord willing, we're gonna get a place, but we got to continue to endure. You got to go through the fire in order to see the sun.
Mm.
So,
Yeah. The most I say he got the expected in first, you gotta believe that thing. You gotta believe it wholeheartedly. Because if you don't believe, then why should he give it to you? Why did it thou doubt?
right, exactly,
So those are some of the benefits. Definitely just growth, man. Growth. That's time for you to get your spirit right. Work out all those kinks, you know. And they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. So I definitely agree to that. You could the link ups be like, oh, it's so much fun, and oh, we're so excited, we're in love, and we're taking pictures, and we're here, and we're there, and we're out to eat. And, oh, he's so nice, and this and that. I would say that's a pro. I would say it's a pro. I feel like I don't say love is stronger, but I say the love is definitely different. It can be more intense because it's so spread out. If that makes sense. Because you don't see them every day. You know, you're not seeing them every day, every other day, every weekend. You're seeing them, once a month, twice a month, for a weekend out the month, whatever the case may be. But I guess we can move on to cons. Um, the
I
other
don't
part of
think
the
it was a
question was
question.
struggles, right?
Huh?
The what was the other part of that question?
Or some struggles that came with it. That's it.
Con. I feel like that's
Yeah. I used to cry
yeah.
bad.
Ooh, it's rough. The link up when you first see them, when they first get off the plane or at the airport, or when they first get out the car, that'd be the sweetest thing. But boy, oh boy, do your heart be broken when they leave.
You
Ooh,
just feel so empty.
yeah, it's sad stuff, man.
It just you
It's not
feel
for
like you just feel just sad because I mean that's your flesh, that's your other
everyone.
half, and now y'all back 3,000 miles away.
Right. That's definitely a huge con. If you and then it's like you got that just goes into knowing yourself too. Like if some sisters they dealt with depression in the world, or it kind of that spirit kind of lingers on or tries to get at you in this truth. That just goes into knowing yourself, counting the cost. If these are things to think about. All I'm saying, because leaving is definitely hard, and saying can. Um, that's crazy. The sister dropped that because I was debating on if I want to bring that up. But here's a question.
Who will get
We
to
can
that?
move on.
But I was gonna say, yeah, like even me personally, when I would go back home after seeing my head, I would have a few rough couple of days. I would like it would take a minute to kind of shake back being real. Like I just
Yeah,
I was just sad. I was trying to stay in the spirit, but it just it just it never felt like it like the night I got back, I just felt so gloomy.
right. Shoot, even the night before it, when you know like it's coming, like dang, they about to leave in the morning. You be like, dang, because I done had some nights. I'm like, bro, I gotta go back. The school. I'm so tired of this, and because you gonna have those moments like, bro, I'm tired of this, bro. Like this is too much. I'm sad. My spirit's so heavy. Like, bro, those are things you gotta prepare yourself for when you long distance
I used to
deployment.
cry bad. I'm talking about
Boo hoo crying, okay?
it's okay, babe. It's okay.
Okay, bless their heart.
Yeah.
But I think we've been like speaking about like struggles pretty much the whole video, so we can
Yeah.
answer this question.
Yeah. How do you mentally prepare yourself for multiple wives?
That's crazy. That's man. It's really crazy that she brought it up because I was literally thinking it for like the past probably 10 minutes. And I was like, should I bring this out?
Yes, don't quench the spirit. Yes, yes. Um,
Here we are. Go
do you
ahead.
want
You go first. Well, all right.
to?
It's
Yeah,
up to you.
the floor is yours.
Okay. So, child, where do we begin? Because it's like, first of all, the answer is only the Most High.
Yeah,
It's only the Most High. I'm not gonna sit up on this live and act like it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. We've lived in America for all of our lives, or well, I know we scattered abroad, but we're not used to that. We're not used to that. We've been disconnected from our heritage. So mentally preparing yourself for multiple wives, I definitely would advise it, even if the person you're courting or your husband, if you're already married, is saying like, "Oh, baby, you the only one. You my ace boon. I ain't even thinking about no other one. You might want it." Cause don't get me wrong, but brothers are smooth. Brothers are smooth. They're really in now. They're fishers of men. And
For real
you
though,
know,
like they know how to be smooth with their words.
they know how to be smooth like butter, smooth like oil on the skillet. I'm telling you. So me personally, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't fall for it. I wouldn't fall for it. Yeah, maybe they might be telling the truth, but I wouldn't advise no sister to put themselves in that situation because you never know. Just like the sister said, you never know what the Most High has in store. And we do know the prophecy, Isaiah 4:1, that is a prophecy that will come to pass. So, if the brother you're dealing with or a brother you married to, he's a man of the Most High, he will be considered more precious than gold in that day. So you gotta prepare yourself for that thing. When even if he's not even trying to do that in a marriage, in a courtship, women they be flocking. I'm telling you, the sister can attest. Women will be flocking at your man. They will be up in them
It
DMs.
do.
He might be in some DMs. It's look, and you might be in a situation where you can't say nothing because you don't want to be offended at the law. So I would definitely do the groundwork if you can while you're single or while you're courting. Try to pull yourself away from this world and this mindset as much as possible. It is not an easy thing. It's not an overnight thing. It is not something that is light. So I'm not going to sit here and act like it is. It's very hard. It's very hard for a lot of sisters, and it only takes praying, fasting, you know, feeling, some sisters, they don't feel that reassurance in their marriages, and, there's insecurities and there's all types of stuff. So,
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into play with it. Like you might have got cheated on in the world and things like that, and that might be traumatizing for you. So it's a lot that comes to play mentally and spiritually with multiple wives. Nonetheless, it is lawful. So what can we say? You know, um, but there's a right way to go about it. Definitely. I will say the best way to prepare yourself is just the Most High, like praying that the Most High helps you not to be offended of the law, praying that if that is y'all lot, that you be ready for it and obedient to the Most High's will, and that you overcome any insecurities. Because these are things I even pray personally. Because I'm not gonna act like I got that in the bag because I don't, and it's a work in progress. I ain't finna try to cap because that ain't me. Um, and like the sister said, brothers are smooth, man. I mean, they descend from Jacob. Okay, all right, because we done all heard it. You my one and only, and I
every
ain't
time,
think about nobody else, and
my
ain't worried
baby,
about nobody else. And
come on now. And I
I wouldn't set your heart on that. I wouldn't. You're
at
gonna set
all.
yourself up for heart. You're gonna set yourself up for heartbreak. Like just have in the back of your mind, this man might get another wife because he just might. Like we don't know how long we're gonna be here. And I mean, for goodness sake, it's their God given birthright. They can't resist it. So if that's something they want to do, I mean, if it's in righteousness, they can't fight it. Like it's just in them to want to do that in righteousness.
Mhm.
Um, I will also say, like I just said, women will flock. I can speak personally. I mean, some sisters be real friendly to married men, super friendly. Sometimes a little inappropriate, but you can't control somebody else's behavior. You can only control your reaction. and still moving sisterly and in the fruits of the spirit.
Yep.
And sometimes I'm gonna even say your husband may be blinded. He may not be seeing that Satan is hopping on these women. Because just because multiple wives is lawful, that doesn't mean that every conversation your husband have with another woman is godly. Let's be very clear. It doesn't mean every conversation your husband have with another woman is of the Most High. Satan might be hopping on that woman, and sometimes our husbands are blinded because the only thing that they're thinking about is, well, I can have another wife, so I can do this. And I'm just being real. So we have to, as women, look well to the ways of our household. So if you see your husband moving in any way that's not of the Most High, or if you see a spirit hopping on another sister, um, you got to pray about that thing, and tell your husband about it in righteousness. Um, but definitely, I would say you just have to also just control your emotions, control your mouth, because Eve will come out of us real quick.
Okay.
And I've had to repent a lot of times. Mm,
Me, you both. It's not
because
even
I
a
still
thing. It's
messed
not
up
a
from
light thing.
Eve. Um, but it's a work in progress. But I would say the best way to get prepared is the Most High, really. And I wouldn't set your heart on that, because He might want another woman. Men, they get curious, so
Right.
mm,
And
it's their
and they,
birthright.
yeah. And they change their mind. They human. They change their mind.
Exactly.
They, oh well, that was back then, and oh, but this sister and
Yeah,
don't.
that's exactly what they say. That was back then. That was 2 years ago.
And women as women, we be like, but you said this, like you said it though. Like why
Yeah,
ain't you
and
say it?
our bruh, and
Why even say it if you didn't mean it? Like
our
why?
minds we be so focused, like, but you told me you didn't want to do that. And then we be
Exactly.
thinking, I should never got with you then. Because if that's what you wanted to do, I could have left you at the door.
But it's like that just goes into counting cost too. Like if you know you're a sister, like you absolutely. I know there's some sisters they absolutely not going for it. Maybe you just need to be single. I mean, because you don't know, and if that's you, you just absolutely just maybe you just need to focus on the Most High. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but that just goes into knowing yourself, because you. That's all I can say. Is this, but kind. I feel like that was a good answer to the question.
Kind. And I just also, something that helped me is not taking too much thought for tomorrow. I'm not finna worry about what may happen 20 years down the line, 10 years if we still here. I'm just finna focus on us and this and building what we have now.
Right,
Building our foundation and building a family, focusing on us now, because we're not even, you know what I mean? And
right,
then we worry about that later.
right,
Like just focus, just living in the moment. Like I had to stop stressing myself about what ifs, the what ifs, and just taking it to the Most High. Well, if that's your will, please help me to be prepared. Please help me to be in the right spirit, because I don't want to be offended at the law. And when the second wilderness come, Yahweh Shah gonna be purging out a lot of rebels, and we don't want to get purged out because of our disobedience, or what am I trying to say, of our offense at the law, because the law is holy, just, and good. So
right. Um, yeah, I was just
all right.
definitely praying on that, man. Don't give your mind over the heaviness about it. Don't
Because
be
I used
stressing
to.
about it, especially if he ain't giving you no reason to. You just over here just thinking like, dang, like what if it, and he ain't giving no sign, like you feel me? What I'm trying to say, but I would definitely say it is a red flag though if y'all are courting and this man is already talking about, yeah, well, I'm courting this other person too. I'm courting two other sisters, but you number three though.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
a
not
red flag.
basically in order. Like, no, we not. No, how are you courting three people at the same time?
You finna make all three of us your wives at once. That don't even make sense.
And that's not even the cake. He don't even got his own place. he's in between jobs right now. He he can't even pull no precepts. He can't even pull no precepts like that, but he know he can have multiple wives. So he just, hey, forget it. Freak it. We doing three. The big three. Exactly. Living with your mama and talking about multiple wives. Run very far away. But that's just me. That's just me. That's not wisdom. You decently in order. Focusing on number one. If the most I see fit, y'all get married and then but don't bite too much, then you can chew. But if anybody else has any questions, or do we have another question?
Yes. How do you prove someone if you're not even in person with them?
Mm. You
Hold on,
wanna
let
go?
me get the exact wording. How do you really prove one another when you don't get to see one another in person? So I would say that goes back into when you do see each other in person. See how he acts.
Yeah.
And if y'all on the phone long enough, you'll see for real. See how he treats his mama. That say a lot about a man. My
Yes.
head, he treats his mom so well.
Same. Sometimes I'll be like a little too well. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all don't mind me. Y'all don't mind me. No, my head, he's very sweet. He looks out for his mom. All praise most high. That's a good tip though. See how you treat his mama, treat
Yeah, treats
see
his
how you
mom.
treat his sisters if he got sisters. You know, I would definitely, I would definitely recommend asking around, asking around. All praise to the Most High. Y'all don't mind me. All praise to the Most High. Our heads were friends, brothers, whatever you want to call it, before
Friends.
we married them. If that makes sense, they were friends before we married them.
They
So
were?
mhm, they used to labor together and everything. Prisoner Yahushua. Her husband, y'all, because
Okay.
she don't remember. Her husband would come from Valdosta down to Tallahassee, where my head stayed, and they would bring it out Cascades Park
I think I'm remembering that because
all
I
the time.
remember. Okay, I'm remembering that because I remember my head's very first time laboring was in Tallahassee, and we were
Exactly.
courting at the time.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
indeed, yes. So they were cool um before we married them, and then I was cool with her head, platonic, of course, but we were cool. So I could ask him. I could ask him questions about my head. I'd be like, "Hey, brother, not on the long-winded stuff, but hey, Ak, this brother he slid in my DM. What's going on with him? How is he in the spirit? What do you know about this brother? What can you tell me? Get to the nitty gritty, like get to the nitty gritty. Utilize your resources, okay?" And then when they got together, her and her husband, you know, I'm telling her, hey, this is what this brother is about. You feel me? He labor, he read, he study, I'm seeing these things, I think that's a good move. You gotta utilize your sisters, utilize your
Mhm.
resources, you know, keep it cute, keep it shamefaced, but you can if you see somebody the brother's close with, don't feel, get what he about. Because they might save you from a certain situation. They might see something that you may not see because you caught up in, I'm so interested in this person.
You just won't, but you're not considering is that good for you.
Exactly. Exactly. All praise the most high. Um,
Um,
how do you get to that? What was the question?
um, um, how do you prove one another when you don't see each other? So
Hmm.
yeah, Use that time when y'all visit each other and see how he treat other women in his life, sisters, grandmas, moms. Ask somebody you may know that knows that brother in a shamefaced, righteous way. And most of all, pray on it. Ask the Most High to reveal unto you any traits that is not godly, that you should not be getting down with this brother. This is because if he is somebody else behind closed doors, the Most High will reveal it. This is Sirach 1:29. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed without speakers. Oh, let me pull it up so I can y'all can see the screen.
Mm-mm. Nope.
What you mean no?
No, ma'am.
Okay, hold on. What about now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, in verse 30, exalt not thyself, and lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so Yahweh will discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thy came is not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. And so the Most High can cast you down if you one person in front of us, but somebody else behind closed doors, you're a hypocrite. And so best believe if this person is not sincere, you proving him, he's not who he say he is, the Most High will show you. So most importantly, above all, pray. Okay, Luke 12:2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever you have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which you have spoken in the ear and closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetop. So, um, the Most High will definitely show you any red flags, or He definitely will show you anything that you're not seeing about this person that you're proving. Um, that would be my answers to that question.
Come.
Next question. Did you have something else?
Nope. You hit it on the nail.
Should you have a chaperone when you meet up? Um,
If you want
well,
to.
yeah, if you want to. I mean, like if you're like underage, definitely. But I mean, if like, I mean, yeah, if you want to, I would recommend not meeting up in no at late at night. No late night car rides. No meeting up at hotels.
Mm-mm.
Like I think you should only meet up in the daytime because freaks come out at night. Um, for real though, they
That's real.
them spirits be out.
Okay. On the prowl.
So, I would recommend like meet up in public spots. Y'all know that sister, his daughter 7. Everybody know that sister. She, if I'm not mistaken, her husband they courted for like 2 years, 2 or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. And so she dropped like a little short on her Instagram about like tips. And so I would that video is probably so far down her page, but I'm remembering some of the things she said, like meeting up in public places,
Yeah.
daytime only, not meeting up privately at night in these cars or hotels.
At each
Um,
other's house.
you can even bring like maybe like a friend. Y'all can bring y'all friends, and it's like a group event. Um, but I will avoid doing things like house link ups, hotel link ups, late night link ups. I would do stuff in the public eye. That way you can keep it classy, cute, and professional.
Most definitely. Keep it cute. Make it.
Don't
Make it
don't give away all the goodies.
right. Have some mystery to you.
Yeah.
You know. Go to camp together. Do things that are surrounding the Most High. Do like a Bible study session at a restaurant. Stuff like that.
And that
But
brings me back to my point of it's like did I catch you off?
good. Go ahead.
That brings me back to my point of it's a fine line. Well, we was talking about this earlier, but knowing what's appropriate and what's not appropriate while courting is a
Mhm.
fine line. Because once you cross that line,
That's it.
it's over. It's wraps.
What age? That's a good question.
Um. Okay, so I know they say like the flower of your age is when you become a woman.
But
But
we not 9 years old. That's
right.
that's
Because
wild. That's
yeah, because a lot of us. get our periods when we're 9 or 10 or 11 or 12. I know I got my period when I was 12. Most
Yeah.
of us, like, we're not in biblical ancient days. Like,
Right.
I mean, yes, we're living in the days of the Bible, but we're not in those times. And a lot of us are still under our father's roof. Jake ain't sending his daughter off that's 12 years old to go court nobody. So I'm not even gonna go down that route of, for logic reasons, of the fly of your age, because this is not the time. Like, this is different times we're in now, and like, Esau would put you in jail if you messing with a 9, 10, 11, 12 year old.
Under the jail immediately.
12, 13, 14, 15. So
Right.
I would say about 17, 16, 17, if your father approves.
Right. I think
And
16 might be. Mm,
yeah, yeah, about 17, 18.
yeah.
That's what I
Even
would say.
that's kind of like,
Yeah. I
but
used to say, like, that's something a sister would have to take up with her father if he's in the house. Because you're, like, if you're not married, your head is your the most high and your dad.
yep.
Right? That's why in biblical days, if a brother wanted a sister, he'd have to go through the father. Why? Because that's his possession. That's his seed. That's his daughter. Right? So, um, if I'm being generous, 17.
Yes. That's very generous. I definitely agree because I feel like it also depends on the sister too. Because
But hold on, so
but go ahead.
I was to say, but scripture also say marry young, and so that's why I say 17.
Hmm. Hmm. It definitely depends on sister because that's not gonna be for everybody because you have some 17-year-olds, they're very mature, they're taking this truth serious, you know, they got a grown woman mindset. But some 17-year-olds, no ma'am, very childish. I don't recommend that for them. Feel like there's some more growing to do. But that just goes with prayer and knowing your own self, knowing what you can handle. And of course, if your father approves.
All praises.
Oh, I pray most
All
high.
praise
See?
the Most High. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Because you definitely, I feel like you can learn a lot up to age 17, Lord willing.
You know,
Because
they say girls mature faster than boys.
they definitely do.
Women mature faster than men.
Yep.
So
Because we courted, me and married young. Shoot, we ain't no elders,
yeah, I'm 20.
and I'm 21. So I married my husband when I was, child, how old was I? Think I was 19.
I was 18.
Yeah,
I
sound about.
started courting my head right before I turned 18. Like, literally, we started courting
Mm.
when I was 17. See, that's the spirit. We started courting when I was 17. And a few days after I turned 18. So basically started courting when I was 18. When I was 18, because he's older than me. My head, 23. I got a grown man, period. No, I'm playing. We both
Right.
young. But yeah, so the age woman that they not the age woman, but let me just get the precept real quick about marrying young. Uh, it is First Timothy 2, and um, is it in First Timothy
What you looking for?
about marrying young? No, that's
Oh,
in that's in like Titus or something, right? Hold on.
yeah. I would that the young man. I think it's in Timothy.
I feel like it's in Titus or like.
It's First Timothy 5:14. I
Okay,
will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
con.
So all praise the Most High.
Con. Con says you just gotta pray for your mom. Everybody not gonna get it, and that's okay. But you just continue to do your part as a servant, and as long as your dad proves, that's all that matters. So all
Come,
praise the Most High,
all praise
because
the
He
Most
is the
High.
head. Anybody got any more questions?
If not, we knocking on the 2 hour mark.
Yeah,
I feel like this is a mighty live through the spirit.
all praise the Most High.
Come on, praise the Most High, man.
Call it how about Shema. Yeah, we can wait and see if we get a few more questions. We can maybe wait a few minutes so like it. Do you have any questions that come to mind for you?
Mm, I would I would be mindful because we were just talking about the age thing. I would be mindful because I have heard things in Israel. There's a lot of elder men in Israel. Young Jake, he not really too much. We got a lot of young Jakes in the truth, but there's a lot of young Jakes that's not in the truth, and it's mostly kind of like elders. It's a mix, but they tend to be mid-20s, mid-30s, folks that they kind of been through some stuff. So I would definitely be praying. If you are interested in or approached by or courting an elder man, I'll say about, I don't know if I can put any years to it, but what would you say is a year?
You said what? What?
I'm trying to think like an elder man age.
Over 40.
Even the 30s. I would say maybe like, yeah, 30s, 40s. I would be like, if you're a
30
young
ain't no
sister,
elder.
I didn't say elder. I'm saying like older, like
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, 30,
um
30, yeah, 30 of over.
yeah. If you a sister, you 17 to 20, 22, I say 20, 21. I say that range. I would definitely, you know, put your circumspect glasses on, because when you're dealing with an older man, I can speak from experience. My husband, he is 10 years older than me.
That girl got a cougar.
But that's reality. My husband, he's 30. We don't do birthdays, so bear with me. I think he's 32. And then I'll be 22 this year. So we're 10 years apart. So I say this to say, my husband, he's wonderful. He's lovely. We are on the same level as far as maturity wise, if that makes sense. Obviously, we're not on the same level because he's a man and he's over me. But you gotta know what you can deal with and know the spirit that man is moving in, because it's unfortunately wicked men in Israel. There's predators. I've unfortunately heard some stories. These young sisters, they get manipulated, just like we are saying earlier. Oh, you gotta be married to make it to the kingdom. Oh, I got this camp, or I'm over this many people, and I've been through some stuff, so I know more than you, and you gotta listen to me because I'm so and so age. Those are red flags. Those are red flags. But I just want to throw that out there. If you are interested in an older man, that can be a wonderful thing, beautiful thing. They have a lot of wisdom. They done been through much more life than you. You're a younger sister. That could be a smoother transition if you're coming out of your father's house and you're coming into a man that not as old as your dad, but around that age, or 10, 15 years younger than that. That might be helpful for you. Teach you how to do this, that, all types of stuff you didn't know. That's a beautiful thing that you might not get if you were to marry somebody that was closer in age to you or younger to you. But
Kind,
any
kind.
advice on adjusting to moving to a new state when you first got married?
Um, I can give some. I mean, I can give a little advice in this area because I moved from Texas to Georgia, but I wasn't freshly married when I did that. So, but it still kind of applies the same because I just moved. I mean, almost a year ago, like 10 months ago. Um, advice: staying connected with the Most High because moving is not easy. Like people think, and I want to do a video on this, Lord willing. I just haven't got to it yet because it was hard just adjusting. But people think moving is just something so slight, but it's really not. Like it's a lot that comes with it. Especially moving away from your family, from everything you've known. Like and these things sound silly, but it's true, and it's things that people actually face and have to go through. Like it's kind of like mourning your old life. You know what I mean? Like you go from being around your dad or your mom or your brothers every day to being like hours away and you don't see them like that anymore. That's a lot. So my advice would be like find some hobbies, find things you're interested in. If you know if there's already a state that you know you're going to, like that's where y'all gonna be staying at, maybe go ahead and already look for some hobbies and things that you could do out that way. And definitely staying connected to the Most High. Getting in touch with some sisters out that way, if there's any. Like go ahead and get in contact with sisters out that way, so you don't feel so isolated and alone. Um, because I definitely did. Um, I would just say be connected. Just get connected. Get around a community. Get around a village because we were not made to be in this walk alone. And although we have our husbands, we want to have some sisterhood and some bonds outside of him. Right. Don't just be up under his skin all day, every day. So my best advice would be um, first cherish every moment you have right now with your loved ones, with your family, because it won't be the same. Um, and then when you do move, like I said, stay connected to the Most High because only the Most High is going to get you through. You're going to have some hard days, but it's okay. The Most High is with you. Find some hobbies, get connected with sisters, and just kind of find yourself again, and just take it day by day. Just take it day by day because it's a new journey, it's a new life, low key. So yeah, that'd be my advice.
Hmm.
And also not comparing what your life used to look like. That's something. As I said, I want to do a video on this, Lord willing. But that's something that I did tremendously. Like I just kept comparing what my life looked like in Texas, and it's not gonna look like that. Like I stayed with my parents. With my mom, she's a nurse. She has a degree. Like, of course, life looked different then. I wasn't paying no bills for real. I had it good. Living with them, good. I'm talking about
Big money.
what?
Not living by them curses.
Nope. Like, I mean, I had my car note, but that was it. I mean, I was staying with my parents, so they were taking care of me, and life was just different. I mean, I got to go if I wanted to go out, I could do that. If I want to go take a drive, I could do that. But it's life is different here. I got a baby. We got rent. We got bills. I'm talking about adult life smacked me on the face. So, um,
Okay.
I would say not comparing what life used to look like because it ain't gonna look like that no more. Just throw that life in the trash. Like not throw it in the trash, but because there's memories and it was special. But just don't compare. Like don't soak in it. Don't dwell in it because it's gonna make it worse. It's very ghetto. Like it's very ghetto. Yeah, America is ghetto.
Right.
Captivity. Is ghetto.
Very much so. Very
Do
much.
you have anything, Yona?
Mm-hmm. Con, I would this just came to my mind, it must be a spirit, but I would stand clear. I think it's a red flag if a man doesn't want you to talk to anyone else outside of him. I feel like that's a red flag. It's a red flag. You know, you can't have no sisters. You know, you can't, be able to, you know, congregate. You know, they don't want to congregate for a few days. It's just you just on lockdown in the house. 25/8. You can't go nowhere. You can't talk to nobody. You ain't got no phone privileges. I think that's a red flag. But I know that's different from the question, but that just came to mind. But to the question, I would definitely, if you can, so I know funds kind of be, you feel me? If you can, just like the sister said, if you know what state you're going to be potentially moving to, I would plan a trip to go out there, kind of get a feel of the city, maybe do some research on your phone while you where you at, see if you're marrying into a camp, I would definitely reach out to those sisters and again use your resources. Hey, this brother, what's up with him? Woo woo, we're courting. I'm gonna be, watch their videos. Okay, they believe in this doctrine and this is what I'm marrying into. They teach this and they believe that and this is how it runs and these are all the good things to keep a eye on because Lord forbid any sister move to a new state, she away from her family. I've heard this. Some sisters they move completely away from their family, miles away. They can't talk to their family no more. They ain't seen them in Lord knows how long, and they in a bad situation, and they ain't got no sisters because that person won't let them, have no friends, no sisters. It's just him. You can only talk to me. So you don't want no line in the house. We don't want that. But definitely stand prayed up with the Most High. Getting to know that city. Try to see if there's some sisters that stay out there. Get to know them. All that good stuff.
Beautiful advice. How did y'all adjust with family and how they felt about being married young? Um, Girl, them folks don't. It's rare for people in the world to think that you married without being legally married. Cause let them tell it I'm shacking up. So I mean,
What she said.
that's just my reality. Like they don't see me as like being married for real. So but that's their business.
Right.
I don't got nothing to prove to them.
Exactly.
But like, um, if you're like still under your parents' roof and they would like for you to get legally married, I mean, there's no harm in that. That's something you can do to honor your parents. It's no hurt in it. I mean, I'm not against legal marriage at all, but our understanding, the sister and I, is that's not what marriage is. Um, and not to say sex is only marriage, because there's other duties that come with that. But we do believe that once you lay down with that person, that is your spouse. So, um, but yeah, my family they don't really I would have to be legally married for them to be like Mackenzie's married. So I mean, my mom, she know what type of time I'm on because she refers to my head. When we talk. She knows like that's my husband. Like she'll be like when she brings up him about other people around other people or me, she says husband or spouse, things like that. So
But
even
it's
when
most
she talks to me, she call him my husband. So I mean, she knows what type of time I'm on, but they believe what they believe. So
Uh, Pretty much same here. You know, I be having to get on my mom when she, oh yeah, Kai's boyfriend. No, ma'am. Boyfriend. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Correct yourself, ma'am. Correct yourself, ma'am. It's husband. Thank you very much. But
Too old for a boyfriend.
okay, what do I look like? Yeah, I got a baby by this man. Please be really for real right now.
Right.
We paid bills together. We've been through the trenches together. Okay, tell me the boyfriend.
Right.
But you know, it's trial and error. They came around. It was very rough at first. They absolutely were not dealing with it, seeing it. You know, not for it. Didn't even really like my husband, to be honest. But now they come around, you know, now he's son-in-law, you know, it's a few kikis there and, you know, it's good stuff. All
Yeah.
praise.
Um, I mean, it's been pretty smooth with my family. I know I have five older brothers, and I know one of my brothers was so hell bent on meeting my head, like he was dead, like he wanted to meet my head. When he coming down here, he need to come down here, dude. um, but I mean, my family they love my head, so all praise the Most High. I
All praise.
think family, even in the world, they look at it as you love my daughter, so I love you. Um, Now there be some times where they you know how Jake, you know how Israel be. They refer to him sometimes the N word. They be like, first of all, no, his name is this. We're not even gonna do that.
Okay. I hate when they do that, boy.
Right.
Watch your mouth.
Right. But yeah, my family they've been very supportive, especially my parents. Like I said, my parents they moved me down here. So and but regardless of if family agree with it or not, to hell with it. I mean, that ain't your problem and it ain't their business.
Okay. Sound
This
like a
is you and your husband. Y'all trying to build. Y'all trying to have a family. Who cares if they agree with it or if they like it or don't like it?
hmm. If it's of the most high, nobody can put us under. But the most high
Right.
put the we
Lord
should
willing, they come around. If they do, if they don't, oh well.
this is the
What touch
book.
is okay while courting? Unless you want to be pregnant with a baby, none.
Bruh.
Seriously.
Hey, she's not wrong though. She's not wrong. I wanted to pull this real quick though. Matthew 19:6. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder. So whether your family is with it or not, that has nothing to do with you and your union. Nothing. Don't feel discouraged if they're not with it. That's a personal problem. If they with it, hey, all praise the most high. We can be all big happy family, all that. But
You know what I've learned? Oh, so like my bad.
I was gonna say of course it took my mom a while. She bless her heart. She feel like being young, you need to be living and dating around and living your best life and all this other madness. But you gotta go ahead and straighten that up. But go ahead.
I'm glad you brought that out. That's a good point because a lot of our people they do feel like, it's crazy that they shame us for wanting to be wives and mothers at our young age, but it's okay for us to be whores. So you want
Man,
me to go out here and pop it open and dress half naked, and I'm you cool with that? But the moment I want to say I want to be submissive, oh, you being a trick. What the like?
keep
Are
controlling
people?
you. Why you
Are
letting him control you?
I ain't never let no man control me, honey. Your daddy, I did whatever I wanted, and that's why. You know what? I'm gonna clamp my tongue.
Clamp my tongue. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say.
So you just gotta be mindful. Also, of advice you get sometimes from people in your family because they
My bad.
they be wicked. Just
My
they them no generational curses. I don't want to know what you did. I'm sorry because I'm not gonna be doing that. Lord forbid, they think that we being controlled and we slaves and all of that, all of that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. Prostituting their daughter. Exactly.
So it's like they want you to live your best life when you're young. Settle down when you're in your 30s. Now, why the hell would I do that?
When
I
you
mean, it's
old,
stupid, but
er,
it makes sense to settle down while you're young and build, not wait till I'm knocking on 40. That don't make sense.
then you wonder why. Then you wait and you do all that. Then you wonder why. Dang, my daughter, she still doesn't have a husband, no kids yet. I want to be a grandma. This, and that. Well, you robbed me of my virginity years and my pure years, and it's just madness. It's madness. It's
Con.
madness. It's madness.
Yeah. So
Yep.
we see all that to say whether they like it, whether they don't, it don't matter. You look, that's your husband. Yeah, y'all gotta work y'all. That's y'all family. Y'all. It don't matter who agree with it, who don't.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
And let not the reverence of any man cause you to sin. And be like, well, my mom, she said I should be living my best life. I should be tied down to one man and this, that. No.
Right. You're married to your husband, not your family. Um.
Oh, did we answer the what touching is okay? Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah. Like a little. Okay. Hugs. I think it's cool. Holding hands is cool. Um. I mean, like if he got his arm around your right here, I think that's cool. But anything, yeah,
privates are no nos. No
nope.
no no squares. No rubbing on chests and shirt and sir, keep your shirt on. I'm gonna keep my dress, my skirt, my shirt on. You know, I think that'll be good.
Nothing below
And
waist, nothing above waist.
right, right. And I would just say you tread lightly with the kissing.
Yeah, because a peck turn is something else. No tongue kissing. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, yeah, no,
For real.
no, because that it's a setup. It's a setup. It's a
Like
setup.
you have to like
Say
be
he
for real.
crafty. Say he crafty. Y'all kiss him 1 minute, the next, then oh no, it was the moment. No, the Most High not trying to hear that. He not
Yeah, like, and that goes into knowing yourself. Like at some point you got to be realistic. Like we're in this flesh. We descend from Jacob and Eve. Like we are Eve. You know what tongue kissing is gonna lead to. Be for real. Keep your tongue in your mouth. If you're gonna
trying.
kiss, heck, kiss on the cheek. Kiss on the cheek. If you have enough self control to peck on the lips, I mean,
Know
I,
yourself.
I'm for real because when y'all doing that front hug, you do that kiss in the front, then it might turn into a little slow kiss, and then now your mouth then got open. I'm being for real. Why are you laughing?
Because it's so real, bro. It's so real because you got me saying just take kissing off the table, bro. But that's
For real
real.
because
Forehead kisses.
yeah, I mean honestly, kissing on lips might be a little too risky because it just might be like one thing can literally lead to another and in a heartbeat.
I will say this. I personally would not. I'm so glad the Most High put this on share. All praise the Most High. No kissing. We're taking kissing off the table. Because you know why? Because Lord forbid, hopefully this is not the case, but if that courtship don't work out, you didn't kiss this brother for no reason.
Oh yeah.
You didn't kiss his brother for no reason. And that's why we say no touching and all that, because dang, you just got felt up by this brother. Now you in a different courtship. And Israel is very small. Everybody know everybody. Y'all know how it is. You men, they talk. Believe it or not, they talk. They be like, oh, you know that's it. Oh yeah, that's it. We used to court, and I used to. I was feeling it. Feel me? It got kind of steamy. We ain't do it though, but we just. And now you just ruined the potential. Man, you blocking blessings. You feel me? So just to eliminate all that, you want to be blameless in this thing. Shame face, untouched. Men like they women untouched.
Men like a woman that
Literally.
can't nobody say nothing bad about.
Exactly. Literally, you don't want to have no. You don't want to have no bad image in your future husband's mind at all. You want to be seen as pure as possible. Even we already coming from the world, and whatever situation we done left. So, and it's true. You gotta be a new creature, new woman. I'm untouchable. I ain't been with nobody. And we had a courtship, but it didn't work out. But we wasn't touching, we wasn't kissing and feeling and all that. Come on, bring that thing out.
Come on, that's the spirit. I'm glad you brought that out. All praise. This Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches and loving famous favor rather than silver and gold. So a good name is better than riches. So you want to have a good name where can't nobody say nothing bad about you. You want to be known as a sister that be in every brother DMs and getting felt on and tongue kissed, thrown in the mouth by every brother.
Right.
Like so that's yeah. We just gonna take kissing on the table and no crazy touching, holding hands and side and
Hugs. That's it.
that's it.
Hands and hugs.
And maybe just side hugs. Them front hugs turn to something else too.
Okay, with no
You just
long.
really have to know yourself. You will tread courting. You just need to tread lightly. If that's gonna be your husband, y'all got all y'all life to do all the married stuff y'all want to do. Keep
Exactly.
it friendly and courting and cute.
Exactly. Oh, praise the Most High. That came out, boy. 'Cause it's real now. Like, have some self restraint. Have some self restraint.
And then I want to get Susanna. Hold on. Susanna 1:27. But when the elders had declared their matter, the servants were greatly ashamed, for there was never such a report made of Susanna. So if you never heard the book, if you never read the history of Susanna, I highly recommend reading it. But long story short, these men were trying to lie on her, and there was never such a report made of her. So meaning this sister had a good name. And then I want to get verse 63. Therefore, Chelkias and his wife praised Yahweh for their daughter Susanna with Joachim her husband and all the kindred because there was no dishonesty found in her. So this sister, um, so I could, I'm looking at the comments. This sister, there was no dishonesty found in her. She had a good name. When them elders were lying on her, trying to say that she was laying down with another brother while she was married, there was bearing false witness on her. There was never such a report made of her. So this sister was known to be blameless. So we want to try to be blameless as possible. So, Khan, you want to have a good name. You don't want to be known as a sister that, first of all, done courted every brother in Israel at that. Like, come on now. You done been through 15 million courtships. Sit down somewhere.
Okay. And you kind of just hop in. I'm with this
Khan,
congregation. I'm with this brother in this congregation, and I go to the next one. And you don't be that sister that they talk about, man. Don't be that sister that just has that horrible name for yourself. It's not worth it. And definitely what the sister said up there, I'm reading the comments. She said gave him a sneak peek. Absolutely no sending pictures. That should be a no-brainer. Do not be sending pictures of this man. That's a red flag. If he asking you, oh, let me see. No, man. I don't care how long you're recording. Like, oh no, we're saving that for marriage. If he has an issue with that,
there's the door.
you can exit stage left. Cause what the sending new? That's even worse. That's even worse than the kissing. That's even worse than the kissing. Just imagine. It's horrible. Don't even want to imagine it. But just imagine you, boom, you courting with a brother. He tell you give him a sneak peek. You give him a sneak peek, and now he done told it didn't work out for whatever reason. Now, some Lord forbid, but that stuff like that happen in the world. They sending you pictures off, and oh yeah, I done seen this person privates and this. It's
And then
complete.
imagine you married to a whole nother man, and you got another man that know what you look like because you over here sending booty pictures.
Exactly.
Like that is embarrassing.
Very
That's
embarrassing.
shame. That's a shame. That's why we're supposed to be shamefaced. That's some shameless behavior.
Very shameless.
Let me
That's when
read this.
yeah.
And y'all, we in this truth, but let's be for real. Jacob, look again. They come from Jacob. Okay, men talk.
They do.
Lord willing, brothers ain't sending. First of all,
Lord forbid.
you shouldn't even be sending pictures while you're courting. But if
Ever.
somebody doing that, Lord forbid, he's sending them out. But yeah, stuff like that happen in the world
Yeah.
where brothers talk. Yeah, I mean that's just the yeah. We've been yeah. That's mine right there. Yeah, we've been. I done seen what she looked like and everything. You have, yeah, bro, for real, yeah. So,
You don't be fooled. They say women talk, men talk. They talk about dang near almost everything. Almost
I
everything.
think men talk more than women. I'm
I
scared to have.
was I wasn't gonna say it, but I agree to that testimony. I definitely agree. Men, they can talk. Child, they can talk. So keep that in
Oh,
mind.
that's gonna get so right. Oh yeah, all right. I was gonna get Sirach. I'm in Sirach 26. I'm gonna read 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. But every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. We know what that's talking about. Um, and then I want to get verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefast will fear the Lord. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so come, we want to be those shamefaced women, not shameless, because the Lord said a shameless woman is gonna be counted as a dog. That's Sirach 26 and 25. Um, yeah, them barbershop talks. I ain't never heard it. I don't want to hear it. I've seen it on TV with the barbershop movie. That's all I need to know.
Okay. Come.
But did anybody have any other questions? If not, we want to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, we about knocking on 3 hours, and yeah, these generations nowadays, they wow, boy.
I can't even imagine going to high school right now.
Yeah,
Prayers up for your spirit, man, because these up and coming, man. I mean, it's just I haven't
that's
heard
better,
them
man.
brother in Israel recording the same sister, basically passing sister. That is complete madness. How embarrassing! Like ugh. That's wow. Just when you think you don't heard it all,
So
the
I gotta stay
same
prayed up, man.
as you.
Most High giving people over to spirits. We gotta stay prayed up. But me and the baby, we're gonna bid y'all a shalom.
Shalom, shalom, y'all. All praise Most High for the sisters that joined and for the sisters that asked questions and those who commented and participated. It's always a blessing to be able to come on here and virtually congregate and have that godly discourse about these real life things, these real life spirits. And I pray, Lord willing, that even if one sister took anything from this, all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. I pray, Lord, y'all have a blessed, mighty Sabbath. Y'all get y'all some sleep. It is 12:20 on this side of Babylon. So I'm probably gonna go to sleep. Probably eat me some cookies and go to sleep.
Fine. Lord, have a good night, good Sabbath. Yeah, 12:20 out this joint, and I'm about ready to eat me some ice cream and cake and go sleep.
Screaming cakey cake, ice cream cakey cake, ice cream cake.
Shalawam, Lord, when it's edifying. Carly, how about your Masha?
Call y'all, Bashmil Chat, Shalom.